Hi guys, I'm here with a video review of Furiosa, Mad Max Saga. Came out recently in May, and I'm gonna review it. This is a prequel to the last Mad Max movie, Mad Max Fury Road, and stars Anya Taylor-Joy as Furiosa and Chris Hemsworth as the villain, Dementus. And it is an origin movie about Furiosa and how she became like this skilled driver slash, mercenary of the wasteland. And yeah, I saw it in IMAX. I watched it. It's a long movie. It's, I think, like 2 hours and 23 minutes, It's long, but I didn't have a problem with it. I really dug this movie. And again, it's a George Miller directed Mad Max style movie. So it has a lot of intense action, a lot of intense car chases involving like these shootouts on the road, like on the Australian outback in a post-apocalyptic world where stuff like, gas, it's on low supply and you need it because, in order for you to use these kind of like souped up dune buggies, motorcycles, and cars, you got to get that gasoline. And so, the resources are limited. The citizens of this world are all nuts, like they're straight up psychos. And, you got to be crazy in order to survive the wasteland. You got to be mad. And so, yeah, this movie, the story revolves around, a young Furiosa with her mom. They're being attacked by raiders, and her mom, is protecting her, but she eventually gets killed and by Dementus's raider group. And Dementus takes Furiosa under his wing, and she starts to learn from him, but still, bearing this, deep-seated hatred towards him for what he did, for what him and his raiders did to her mother. And then later, she's transferred as a prisoner to Immortan Joe, if you remember from Fury Road. He was the main villain in that. In this movie, he is, kind of like this character that Furiosa works for. And then from there, it switches from Dementus learning that Furiosa is working with Immortan Joe, and that, because there's like a turf war between Dementus's group and Immortan Joe's group. And so then you have Immortan Joe. He's bringing on a new person, and it's this new raider. And he kind of has a look that's very similar to like Mad Max, or even like the older Mad Max, like Mel Gibson. Like he's this guy that has like the sawed-off shotgun. I believe his name is Jack, and he's the one that's teaching Furiosa how to use a war rig, how to get into these shootouts when you're driving and you're like on the wheel, but also taking out guys with a gun. Like he is also showing her the ways of the wasteland. And with all this stuff that she's getting from both Dementus and Jack, and learning from Immortan Joe, is that she's forming. The Furiosa that we see in Fury Road is a fully formed character, but in this, she's getting all that information, all that training, and becoming the woman that we find her in Fury Road. But she hasn't forgotten about Dementus. And from then on, when you see her as an adult, because the movie deals in chapters, right? So you have these chapters bookended by, what she has learned, and then you start from like the child, then she's like a young teenager, and then she's like, as a woman, she's like in her mid-20s, 30s. And so you see this growth of Furiosa throughout the whole film. And then also I love the music. I love the music. It's great. It's intense. But without a doubt, this is probably my favorite action movie to date. It's even better than, I think it's slightly above John Wick, only slightly. It's just intense. It's crazy. Again, she's like fighting these psychopathic killers on the road, and she is, using a sawed-off shotgun. She's using a handgun. She's doing all this stuff like getting under the vehicle and trying to protect the wheels so they won't get destroyed by these crazy raiders. She's also like doing this amazing stunt work, and that's the thing about this movie is that you gotta praise the people that are doing the stunt work for this movie because it's just unreal and it's just electrifying. And you can tell like every attention to detail. George Miller is, look at every attention to detail and making sure this is like a thrilling, action-filled blockbuster. And there are moments where you have the music going on, you have the sound effects, but there's not a lot of dialogue, and that's been a theme throughout the Mad Max movies. Like in the original movie, Max didn't talk that much. In the original Mel Gibson movies, like he didn't talk that much. The first movie had minimal dialogue. 2, he was talking. 3, he was talking. But Fury Road, there wasn't a lot of dialogue that Max, who's played by Tom Hardy, had. There was a lot of eye movement, a lot of looking around, rapid eye movement in scenes, a lot of like pantomime, like arms, like and stuff like that. It almost reminds me of a silent movie. It's almost like George Miller's like referencing old cinema by doing that. And that goes with Anya Taylor-Joy. There's all minimal dialogue, and she's just using her eye movements, and it's really effective, especially when you're in these like crazy chase sequences where it's just the music, the sound effects. There's no dialogue, and it's just like eye movements, looking all about, and it works. And and Chris Hemsworth's character Dementus is appropriately evil, maniacal, a little funny but not in a way that's like like it's not like Guardians of the Galaxy, or like I don't know, like something like the jokes are there. It's not like Marvel humor. It's definitely not that. He is a very evil character, but I guess he's just a guy that like just delights in violence, and so that's what his character is. And so yeah, he's a very good villain. There are action sequences between him and her, between Furiosa and Dementus that work, where she's using a sniper rifle and she's trying to kill him, and he is just moving around trying to take cover, using his own guy as a human shield, and gets his head sniped off. And it's an amazing scene. We have just amazing vehicular combat on the road. I don't know if it's better than Fury Road. I don't know if it's better. I still think Fury Road is still the best film in the Mad Max saga. But Furiosa it's close. It's close. But I loved it. This movie, to me, I highly recommend it to anyone that's interested in a good action flick. I love the Mad Max movies. So this one is like up on my list of the Mad Max movies, between Fury Road and Mad Max 2: The Road Warrior. So I suggest you all check it out, watch it, go to the theater and watch it, go to IMAX and watch it, because it's meant to be seen on a large screen. It didn't do so well the box office, but I definitely encourage you, go and see it if you can. It's an amazing movie, and definitely one of the year's best. All right, guys. Thanks for the video, and I'll see you around. Bye.